Hello everybody and welcome back to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel. I'm And More Bus Videos, otherwise known as And More Central, depending on what day of the week and what video you're watching. And welcome to Cotterell Bus Station on the Cotterell map, otherwise known to most of us who have been to the west of England as Bath. This map is basically was the UK DT sort of experimental map. It was for the team to see what they were capable of, who worked best on what, and how they could design it together. And this basically led to the current revamp of the West Country that we all know and love. So it's been a while since I've driven on this map. It's basically the route from the bus station up to the university, the U18, and then in real life now I think is the U1 and U2. Although I was only ever in Bath quite briefly. If you haven't already, you can go and check out my And More Central video from a few years ago when I was last in the west of England. I do intend to visit again, albeit I imagine the buses have changed a lot since then. So in front of me I have OIG 6942, one of the now withdrawn small batch of older Mercedes-Benz Citaro O530s, I'm going to say O330s, O530 Citaro rigids, and that ended their lives at Worcester. These vehicles are quite an interesting life, operating on the 7 Series services in Slough, Berkshire, operating on the B-Line network in Bracknell before that was finished, and ended their lives in Worcester, where I believe they were withdrawn about 6 to 8 months ago, something like that. I remember going up just before they were withdrawn. So this is from the brand new first Worcester Citaro reskin pack made by Turbo Ted. It's hopefully a repaint pack I'm going to be using over a few videos, as there are some lovely repaints in it, but it basically reflects all of the different liveries worn by the older Citaros that transferred from back to the old O2 and 52 plates that have since been withdrawn, and also the newer LK08 plates that are still far and few between, but they are still about in Worcester alongside some of the newer Cascades. They all had different coloured fronts. Meanwhile, the older ones, these O2s and 52s that got private plates on them, had the fuchsia pink fronts in this livery. So that's why I thought I'd choose this one, because I know quite a lot of design work has been done to the repaint, and to make it look like an older Citaro, that I do think is pretty cool, saying that we don't have one. It doesn't sound like one, it still sounds like the newer Citaro, but if you look at it from sort of initial appearance, it does still, you could make it out from the front especially as an older one. So we'll get the vehicle started up. I believe we will be due to make a move. I'm going to do the blind. There we go. I'll do the blind automatically. And we'll load it up. And now we'll make a move. There we go, so that's blind all loaded up. I mean, it is pretty cool because the blinds on these were white as well. On these older ones, we did 640, 12 and 13 on my Worcester visit. If you haven't already, do go and check out my Worcester bus network review video on the And More Central channel. It includes rides on the 2 older O2 and 52 plate batch Citaros I went on, just like the one that this repaint reflects. I believe it was this one as well I went on, 6942. So it shows them as well as some of the newer Citaros and some of the other bits of traction that I went on, including some very, very nice old Dennis Darts, Dennis Dart MPDs, one of which that I filmed is actually now withdrawn. So it's a lovely repaint pack, is this. It's got the maquette inside as well. It looks like more of a photo maquette in this one, but still looks pretty cool nevertheless. And as I say, the repaints are really nice. What is quite cool as well is if you do have your own personal map that I do. That I mean, I really haven't been playing it recently, but if you do have your own personal map, the repaints that have been created to reflect the other vehicles in Worcester, the O8 plates with their different colour lines, they are all unbranded, just like they are in Worcester at the moment, so you can add your own branding and bits like that and put route lines if you really, really wanted to. So there is those opportunities, but then again, like me, I'll hopefully be driving some of the different repaints and things in this repaint pack, and just showing off the different lines and where I saw them when I went to Worcester and stuff like that. Because they do have a few Citaros at Worcester, the newer ones that are still about, that aren't still painted in the old livery. They have done some for the 35 brand, that again, it will probably be the repaint that I feature in my next video, because as I say, I am a fan of driving the Citaro in game. I was a fan of the Worcester Citaros when I went to Worcester, and now they're in game with a repaint pack. It's the best excuse to drive this lovely bus. So look out for that video on the with the 35 branded vehicles. So since my visit to Worcester, I've unfortunately not had a chance to go again. I did want to visit again to get at least one of the last two Bible liveried B70 Geminis that were still about. For those of you that have watched the Network Review video already, you will have seen I ended up on the Heritage Leicester liveried Gemini when I went. That was shortly withdrawn after the video was made on the day of filming. And the other two Barbie ones on the day that I went weren't actually out. So I was hoping to get back there to sample those two, but unfortunately a plague of rail strikes on the time that I wanted to head down just meant it never happened, unfortunately. So I did watch some videos. They didn't sound the healthiest of motors, so we're not missing out on anything anything in the sort of style of what's the place? Cornwall, that's the one. So we're not missing on it. We're not missing out on any Cornwall-esque. Oh, there we go. We're not missing out on any Cornwall-esque B7s. I believe they were very, very tired motors. With 326, 44, and 45. I mean, 46 that we went on in the Leicester livery, and that we were always told was the healthiest. It sounded the best when we went on it. It sounded really, really nice. And it was the first one to be withdrawn as its engine blew up. So, yeah, puts into context that they weren't particularly the strongest batch of B7s going with those three. So, but yes, the Cornwall ones were nice, and unsurprisingly, even though they have tried to replace them, the Cornwall ones continue. They've been having a few issues with the B90Ls that have been coming in to replace them, and as a result, the B7 Geminis continue to roam around Cornwall. Presumably they won't be there on my annual visit next spring. For those of you that have watched the channel, the Amber Central channel, for the past few years, you'll know I go down to Cornwall now every year to go to the Pendant Heritage Bus Running Day. And as a result, I time it so that I go down with a few friends and I make sure I have at least one free day. I think on this occasion I had... Oh, there we go, that'll do. On this occasion, I believe I had a full free day and then a full morning of just riding around on B7s and B9s. So it was an incredibly good day, I must say. Incredibly good day. So I think that day I was out from about 7 in the morning till I think it was about 3 o'clock. We ended up Falmouth and round Truro and all of that lot. We got the second of the LK53s. We'd sampled the first one on a Saturday morning. I got the second one, the Vermouth liveried one, on its regular public college run. Because what they do with the college routes from Cotterell College is because they go to some incredibly random places. They can be like utilised as a shopper service or a way for people to connect to get home, because we've got to remember that in Cornwall some corridors aren't particularly frequent. So they are open as public services, and some of them have lunchtime runs, such as the one that the 32350 was on, or is it 53? I thought somebody rung the bell. Is that? What's that yellow? No, oh no, it's just engine warning light. Okay. Engine warning light. Thought it was the stopping. Because the lights are both yellow and they're both next to each other. Yeah, I did both of them that week and did incredibly well, because I think it was 5-3 is the... Oh no, it's 5-9, that's the one. 32359 is the Pride one that was sampled on the Saturday morning on a surprise U18 morning that it did. Wasn't expecting it to do a morning on the U18s, but here we go. It was a very nice surprise. And then on the Monday, 32350, the Vermouth one was sampled on one of its regular college runs. Although since then, the Vermouth one did a short stint in public service as well that was pretty nice. So I know that what they're doing in Cornwall is they do seem to be moving some of the B7 Geminis round as well. There are some that have been withdrawn and scrapped. Not too many, and probably not as many as they had hoped by now. But as a result, there's quite a few being cascaded around. Quite a few of the newer ones as well. So unfortunately, if Cornwall wasn't as far away as it is, I wouldn't have minded popping down again to try and sample a few more of these B7s. Because, as I say, on the main Cornwall section now, some of the ones that were stored further afield and were used on the Day Tripper network. There we go. And we used on the Day Tripper network and bits like that, and other runs in Plymouth have now actually ended up in Cornwall and on main service. So we can cross fingers that there's still a few about next spring when the Penzance Heritage Bus Running Day is happening. I can cross fingers that there is still a few B7s around then. It'd be really nice if there is, as Cornwall are probably going to end up being the last place running the type in the First Bus Empire, just based on how many they have. So hopefully if that's the case, they'll have some still next year, and if they do, it'll be quite nice to sample a few of them alongside, I would imagine at that time, quite a few B9s. Because it's quite bizarre to think up here now in South Yorkshire, they have started to withdraw the B9s with the idea that the successful electric vehicle that they choose, if you haven't already, do check out the Electroliner demonstrator in Sheffield video I did. But basically, whatever demo they decide to use is probably going to replace the B9 fleet, and as a result, they have already started withdrawing some of them. So it's quite weird to think that they've started withdrawing them in South Yorkshire, yet they still scrapping them, and yet they still need B9s down in Cornwall to replace the B7s. So it's a really, really strange thing at the moment, where the First Bus Empire does seem to be moving at different paces in different areas. But it must be said, I do hope that there are still a few B7s in Cornwall, and if not, a few more Glasgow B9s won't go amiss in Cornwall, especially now they've lost the V500s. They are more reliant on their fleet of B7 deckers, because all the E500s have gone to OMSI for resale. Again, something I was incredibly lucky to sample on my morning out on the B7s. It was I did film it as a video, so you can check out the E500s. The E500 that I sampled, the B7s, B9s I sampled, because that was a really, really good morning in a separate video. But for now, what started off as a video about Worcester turned into Cornwall and the B7s. It's a sign that I need holiday and I need warmer weather. But for now, I really hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have them, do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. And if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section with videos twice a week, as well as an archive of over 6,000 backseated engine-focused public transport videos. With buses, trams, trains and more, there's something on here for everyone with additional 21 videos added every single week alongside 2 simulation videos. So you'll be missing out on a lot if you don't subscribe. But yeah, I will link the repaint in the description below so you can download it, and do look out for some more videos from this tremendous repaint pack. But for now, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video, mate. Goodbye for now. Bye.